Hi, I'm Pip Waller, and this is Being Human, where I talk about various things to do with what it means to be a person alive today. That's a person with a body, a mind, and that mysterious thing which we're going to call spirit. So today I'm continuing talking about the nervous system, and I'm going to specifically talk about that part of the nervous system which deals with unconscious, automatic bodily functions, and that is called the autonomic nervous system, the autonomic nervous system. So that part of the nervous system is divided into two halves. One is called the sympathetic nervous system and the other is the parasympathetic. So in a nutshell, just briefly, and then I'll explain a little bit more, the sympathetic nervous system is what we call the fight or flight reaction, the stress response system, where everything can get geared up and get into action, ready for action. That's what it's about. Something's happened, we need to respond to it, and when everything is heightened, sympathetic nervous system switched on to allow us to fight or flight, run, or freeze or flop, whatever's going to keep us alive in that moment. The other part of the autonomic nervous system is called the parasympathetic system. Parasympathetic system is the system where things are slowed down. It's a place where repair, relaxation, rejuvenation, regeneration happens. It's a place where healing happens. And that's a thing that we don't have to run, we don't have to fight. There's no threat to us. We can relax and we can get on with things that are to do with like saving and processing and mending. So we can really digest our food and absorb it. We can store things up for the future, and also we might even make babies. That's the two big things that the parasympathetic nervous system stimulates, is the digestion and the sexual and reproductive functions. So let's be a bit more detailed now. Fight, flight, freeze or flop, the sympathetic nervous system. What that basically does, if we're going to have to run or fight, what we're going to need to do is we're going to have a lot of energy released. So we get the blood sugar goes up, we release some stores of energy from the liver, and we're going to need to get the blood pumping faster around the body, so the heart beats faster and also more forcefully. The blood pressure is up and the blood is zooming around really fast, and it's carrying in it the glucose that we had stored in the liver, and now it's been released into the blood, and also oxygen, because that's what we need to make energy: glucose and oxygen, sugar and oxygen. So that's what we've got going on. And breathing, we need to get faster and more oxygen quickly into the blood. So we've got more oxygen, more glucose, and it's all traveling around. Also, we open the pupils of the eyes so we can let more light in, so we can see better. And we also divert the blood away from the digestive system and the reproductive function, which, let's face it, if we're running away from a saber-toothed tiger or something stressful, it's not the time to sit down and have a nice relaxing meal or a bit of cuddle with your beloved. It's the time for everything, all action now, to keep alive. And so the blood, those systems are actually depressed or slowed down, suppressed, and the blood is diverted instead to our brain, so we can think, what's the right thing? Run, fight, freeze, flop. And it's diverted to our muscles, the skeletal muscles, so that we've got the power and the ability to do that activity. That's the sympathetic nervous system. It's great, it's wonderful, it can keep us alive. But if it's going all the time, it can make us ill. Because because what doesn't happen in the sympathetic nervous system, what doesn't happen there is repair and regeneration, and also digestion. And you can see, like, if you're stressed all the time and your digestive system isn't going to be working very well, and that means over time you're going to have a depletion of all the stuff that you could absorb from your food, all the nutrients. So what we need to do for our health, what we need to do to improve our health, is figure out ways to become a bit more parasympathetic, because the two systems, they work like this. When sympathetic one is on, the parasympathetic's off, and when the parasympathetic comes on, the sympathetic one goes off. So if we're living a modern life, a typical modern life, we're a bit too much like this, where the sympathetic is on and the parasympathetic doesn't get much of a look in. And we need to create this balance where we give the parasympathetic system more time to be on, and that allows our body to recover and regenerate. So there's a lot to be said. I could talk for hours about the nervous system, but I'm not going to. I'm going to stop now. And the next video is going to be about how to switch on your parasympathetic nervous system. So I'm Pip Waller, and this is Being Human. Thanks for listening. If you like it, subscribe, share, tell your friends, and you might even want to buy one of my books. Thank you.